fucking.
Welcome to the Fanatical Elfz Show, part of the Elfz Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bring you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome, Steve Gill. I'm Johnny Suchan, Johnny Cleveland, whatever you want to call me. You know, I did that little jingle on the Fanatical Elfz, the little monologue there. I remember I did the music and then I recorded that. It turned out pretty good, wild and crazy fans. So we are a bunch of wild and crazy fans. We appreciate you watching us right now, live on Facebook, YouTube, and the X. Now, I told Steve right before the show started that if my microphone, those of you who've been watching my shows or they've noted that I've lost my microphone. So hopefully we don't have any glitches.
It's right there in front of you.
I know. Look at you with the humor. You're one funny guy.
I'm really good at it.
Well, we had a nice week. We did a show on Saturday for 3+ hours, and Browns had a hell of a draft. I know you talked about it. I've talked about it. Todd McShay,
everybody's talked about
everyone's talking about it. I wrote an article for Dog Pound Daily. I know you've written some things in your blog that people can read.
Yeah.
So where can they check that out?
Net.
Yeah.
Dogpoundsouth.net, or you can just follow me at Seatown Thug.
I love that. That's very unique to you.
Well, it's a Romism, Seatown, and after the Bottlegate game, everybody was calling Browns fans thugs, so I decided to wear it as a badge of honor.
I love it.
Because we're not thugs.
No, we're just two nice Browns fans.
Very devout professional football fans.
We know there are a lot of other podcasts
sometimes to our own hindrance, but like this week, everybody going goo goo gaga over Mary Kay.
Yeah, let's start there because, it is the hot button this week, and I know how much you love Mary Kay. Steve's been blocked by Mary Kay, so I'm sure
I was blocked years ago. Believe me, I'm not missing anything.
So the short story of this is that Mary Kay posted that she had inside information or breaking news. She wanted to make doubly down on that. Like it's her breaking news that she has on good authority that Deshaun Watson, after 2 days of voluntary workouts, has the upper hand or is leading the charge. I
would hope he would. He's a 10-year veteran. He's out there in t-shirts and shorts throwing against air. If he doesn't have any advantage, then he's in bad shape. Look, it's April, okay?
130 days till the season kicks off, by the way.
April. Voluntary workouts. 10-year veteran. His only competition is a guy who came off the worst rookie season by a quarterback in the last 25 years. So, of course he's got an advantage. Again.
No, wait, Shedeur Sanders was a Pro Bowler.
Oh, God. What did he did? Come on, was he in the tug of war?
And now his brother's telling Mary Kay to go make a sandwich.
Yeah, there you go. That's about as sexist as you can get. That didn't help matters.
No, it's made it a little bit more, messy.
The new offensive coaches have a right to see what they got.
Sure.
I mean, the Browns are paying him $1 gazillion, so you might as well see what you get. Is he going to be the starting quarterback? I have no idea. That's up to Todd Monken. And I trust Todd Monken because he's developed quarterbacks everywhere he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So is the quarterback room complete? Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's only, I know tomorrow's May 1st. but it is still only April. So I don't care. I have other concerns about this team, which are right now, I'm feeling a little bit better about it.
Better about it because we've just had this really, really impressive draft again. 2 years in a row, I
Very
think.
impressive draft, and they've signed a few rookie undrafted free agents who have impressed me and apparently have impressed them because they gave them guaranteed money. If you want to know who's going to make the team, look at how much money they got and if it's guaranteed. So that's the best way to know.
Now, I haven't paid attention. I know Rob and his brother Jeff talked a little bit about these undrafted free agents. Who are some of these?
Well, one guy who got guaranteed is a cornerback out of West Virginia, Michael Coates. Everybody thinks he's going to be something. Yeah, I think he got 100,000 guaranteed. Fano's brother Logan,
yes,
he got the most guaranteed money. So, okay. I'm really impressed with the running back from SMU. I think it's TJ Harden. He's like 6'1". He's just a battering ram of a running back. So there's three right there that impressed me. I've heard that's Tyreek Sapp, defensive end from Florida. Also, might be someone who could stick with the team. I mean, last year you had, of course, Aiden Huntington. You had Donovan Nichols. You had Dom Jones. Of course, what's his name? Lavidan, the wide receiver. And there was another one that came from undrafted rookie free agent. So, and Andrew Berry always finds them. He finds good ones. So,
well, he's been given a lot of praise overall with this whole process. And I talked about it a little bit the last two shows that I've done and just speculating. And you're looking back. I looked back historically, and we've talked a little bit about this with the Browns drafts, and I talked about it in one of my latest articles on Dog Pound Daily, that, this is the best time of the year for Browns fans, I think, because, and I think you'd probably agree a little bit, because you're 130 days away from the actual season starting. The draft is very important to Browns fans, and you want to see what happens next. You want to see how the book's going to get written. What's the next chapter? What's going to happen next? And right now, I mean, based on what we saw last year, we got a lot of good vibes from that draft a year ago with Mason Graham and Carson Schwarzenegger and Harold Fannin.
Yeah, it all started with that trade, which was completed this draft. So,
and you're moving in now to this draft where not only did you get another offensive lineman in Spencer Fano, but you got two wide receivers who are going to, I mean, on paper and looking at film, these two guys should help a lot. You got the other kid from, the safety. Then on defense, again, the Browns took 8 players on offense. They did take 2 players on defense. One of them is Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo. And then they went back to the offensive line. What's the kid's name? Austin
Barber out of Florida.
Yeah.
Big kid, mauler.
Yeah.
I love it. Right now, you look at it, and if things play out right, they'll probably get 5 starters out of this draft. The first 4, Fano, Concepcion, Boston, and McNeil Warner, and the Parker Brailsford, the center. I've heard a lot of good things from people who know a lot more than I do that, yes, he's light, but he's very good at what he does. So he could be your starting center. Then you get the Justin Jefferson linebacker. He's definitely going to be, he loves playing special teams. He's a very good off the ball linebacker, good lateral movement. So he's going to contribute. I think you're going to see, I'm not too sure about the 2 tight ends. I'm glad they signed a fullback, which every Browns fan loves them some fullback. And then you add maybe 3 or 4 undrafted rookie free agents, and this is a very good draft. This is an excellent draft, just like last year. I mean, that big trade down last year got you Mason, Quinshawn Junkins, Dylan Sampson, and Casey Concepcion. That's a pretty damn good trade right there.
Yeah, we forget to add the Concepcion. Yeah, exactly.
And he's had back-to-back excellent drafts. Everybody seems to forget that Paul DePodesta was in the room last year when they had the excellent draft, but we're not going to talk about that because that doesn't fit your narrative of him as the boogeyman. So, yeah. Moving forward,
Yeah.
if they barring injury, I mean, Austin Barber and DeJuan Jones will probably be your swing tackles. You can move KT Livingston inside at guard, so you'll have him and Trayvon Jenkins at your guard. Hopefully, Luke Whip. I think they might still find a center. I don't know. They tried Zinter as center last year, and he did play in the last game at center. So that may be his only way of staying on the roster. So, and if Whippler's supposed to be ready to go by training camp.
You still think he's in the mix then? Okay. I heard some people think. Okay. Well,
and your wide receiver room is much improved.
I don't know if you
anywhere. So,
well, and I guess I just want to reiterate this, and let me find. I wanted to find the quote here. I think I sent it to you, but let me see here real quick. The Todd McShay, character. He's one of many people that talked about this draft and the positive vibes that he was getting after this. And you and I talk about this a lot, but I think it's worth noting because he did say in this article that I wrote, this is a quote from Todd McShay, who's got his own podcast. He used to be an ESPN football guy. Now he's doing his own thing. His quote was, "I don't know if I've ever had a more promising feeling coming off an NFL draft than I do right now about the Cleveland Browns. From a personnel standpoint, I don't remember looking at a roster and thinking, oh, they're actually heading in the right direction. They're stacking some weapons." And then he goes on to say, it didn't matter who was in there last year. So they were talking about, the quarterback situation. And he was referencing that. And he says, it didn't matter who was in there last year. They didn't have the cast of players. So you can't truly evaluate the quarterback until you have the pieces around him. You can actually evaluate Shedeur this year. That couldn't have happened last year. So I mean, I think we all understand that. I think we all lived it, and I'm excited on that end. So like if Shedeur does get that opportunity,
well, it's up to him.
Yeah, and even like let's say Deshaun starts. I know a lot of you are, that's whoever it is, they're going to be evaluated more fairly, I think, than last year's team on a whole.
I don't think last year. I don't think they were judged unfairly last year. I'm.
But he's talking about like the cast of characters, like the abilities.
There are no more excuses. Whoever starts, there's no excuses. You've got your starting offensive line. You've got a veteran right tackle with 2 veteran guards. You've got a top 10 draft pick at your left tackle.
Yep.
And an underrated center in the kid from Alabama, 3-year starter. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And your backups that's why I think, are a lot more quality. I mean, you got to face facts. Last year, when injuries happened, they were scanning the streets for anybody who could play offensive line. That's how bad it was.
And likely there could be injuries this year. I mean, we don't know.
Sure.
We're, making.
But these guys they've taken and signed and traded for are all durable.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was telling that the very first trade they made was for a right tackle. That told you exactly what they were going to do with the offensive line. They were going to fix the offensive line. Mm-hmm. I think with all these kids and some other signees they've had, they're fixing the special teams. Those were the 2 big bugaboos. Now, wide receiver has gotten significantly better. I think a lot of people are underselling KC Concepcion.
Absolutely.
He can make Jerry Jeudy and Denzel Boston better just by being on the field. And he can return punts. So you're getting quality out of this draft. Quality that could.
I read somewhere. Did you read this? I don't know who posted it. It was a quote on TikTok or Twitter. They said that if the Browns had just come away with Denzel Boston, we would still be talking about who could be a Browns future realistic wide receiver one. The fact that they got Casey Concepcion first and then Denzel Boston, just like this person thinks, this analyst is saying that Casey Concepcion could be a legitimate. I mean, it could, very likely is that number one for this team, long term.
Maybe in the future, but Jerry Jeudy is your number one,
right?
And these two kids, plus the tight end, plus your two running backs. I mean, right now you've got 6 guys who are first or second year players.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to develop and grow with this team. And by the time they come up to their second contract, this team is going to be picking in the late 20s.
Yeah.
So, and I'm fully convinced that this is years. Everybody wants, you got to lose games so you can get top 10 and get your quarterback. No. If they're picking in like 28 or 29 or 30, they found their quarterback somewhere. And things are working.
Well, if they're not working, Vegas has it not necessarily working. They did a make believe 27 draft the other day, and they used the odds of the teams making it to the Super Bowl, and so they have the Browns with the 4th lowest chance of doing that. So they had the Browns picking 4th in next year's draft,
even with the easiest schedule. Okay.
And the Browns in this mock draft did not take a quarterback. They actually took the edge rusher from, I think, another kid from Texas for Texas A&M again. Forget the kid's name, but.
So they are fully convinced they're going to trade Myles Garrett.
Right? Isn't that the speculate? That's what I immediately, when I read it. Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew Berry has said in interviews again this week, it would take something extraordinary for that to happen.
Yeah.
So
I want to talk to you a little bit more about these draft picks, and then talk about the news tonight about the new ballpark being built up there in Cleveland for the new Brownies coming up in 2029. We're going to pause here for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Thank you for coming back to the Fanatical Elfz Show. That's Steve Gill over there, and I'm John Suchan. We appreciate you tuning into our show live here.
Yes. God, I thought you'd people have enough of us by now.
Hey, Jeff, thanks. We just talked about that too before the show, or before, I think maybe, I don't know if you heard, but Steve did say the exact same thing about having 5 potential starters.
Yeah. And you've got the potential for, out of these 10, 7 or 8 participants. Let's put it that way. Then you add about 3 or 4 undrafted rookie free agents. And I liked our haul this year. It was nice.
Now, Jeff mentions also, he says that's why we were trying to get the passing of 5 years of draft picks to be traded. Trying to follow you, Jeff, on that. What are you referring to? Miles?
Now you can't draft
right.
3 years in advance. And Andrew Berry wanted to go 5 years. I don't think that has anything to do with it. You might as well float something. They just wanted the league to talk about it. They knew it wouldn't pass. So,
Yeah. So, tonight they had the official digging of the groundbreaking. Thank you.
I knew you were looking for that word.
I know. Thank you.
I could see it in your face.
The commissioner, Roger Goodell, was in town. Did you see these things?
Sorry, I still thought it was.
But they interviewed him, and I think even the governor of Ohio was there, and they were talking about the future of this stadium, and everyone's getting, all excited about it. But one of the things that Roger Goodell did say was that the Browns had the NFL draft here back in 2021 during really the height of the pandemic, and that he assured the Browns Nation that they were going to be bringing the draft back to Cleveland. Didn't
Good.
give us a year, but basically promised us that. Now, he didn't promise a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl, like hosting a Super Bowl, but
No, they need to develop around the stadium first.
yes, more
See,
hotels.
That's
Yeah.
the one thing about here in Nashville.
Yeah.
See, Cleveland has more people who live downtown.
Yeah.
Nashville has more hotel rooms downtown because we host everything.
Yes. Yes.
You know, you got CMA Fest where for a whole week it's nothing but country music fans, and you know, it's just I mean, the convention center is huge. It's like, oh, I want to go. Let's see now. It goes from roughly about 3rd Avenue down to 8th Avenue. It's
okay.
That big, that many blocks.
Yeah.
It's freaking huge.
It's
and
huge.
Tons of hotels downtown and in the surrounding counties, which you can easily get into Davidson County from any other county that surrounds it. There's 3 interstates that go through Nashville. So
what is not, I know you're down there in Nashville, not to go jump back into the draft much, but people that I know who are Titans fans here are not real, or were wondering what they did. How would you describe what the Titans did? I know you probably don't pay attention as much, but it sounds like not a lot of happy campers outside of Carnell Tate.
Oh yeah, they love Carnell Tate. That was a surprise of the draft. Him going at 4. And that kind of set up the Browns to get what they were going to get. You know, one variable about the draft that nobody takes into consideration, a lot of it's luck and how it falls. And the first 2 rounds fell exactly the way the Browns wanted them to. I mean, the Kansas City trade, they asked the GM, Andrew Berry asked the GM, you know, didn't ask him who he was going to take, asked him if he's going to take offense or defense.
Yes.
And he said defense, and he knew the next 2, they knew through their internal investigations that the next 2 teams were going to not take a tackle. So they got draft picks and the tackle they wanted all along. So here
that was a really well-written article by that young person.
Oh yeah, that was great. That shows exactly how it works, and I love the inner workings of the draft and
now,
the war.
Steve, I do have one gripe to make. I mentioned this on my show last night.
What's that?
Yahoo Sports, and I've talked to my publishers at Dog Pound Daily. They have a bad habit. They're not the only people that do this, but Yahoo Sports takes articles that us, you and me, writers write, and they steal it as their own and publish it. Now they put my name up at the top, but they don't put the link until you get to the very bottom of the article, and then they'll say you can read this article, and they put the link on Dog Pound Daily. And I've talked to my editors there at Dog Pound Daily, and it's a real pain in the butt. They get away with it, and so I'm losing potentially hundreds and thousands of views of my articles because Yahoo Sports picks it up. And so my article I wrote 2 days ago or whatever, it was on the top of the news, but it was under the Yahoo Sports. And I'm like, doggone it. So
what was it about?
Well, I wrote the one I wrote about David Njoku.
Oh, coming back
to Cleveland.
Potentially coming back.
Yeah. And then the one I just published, that one, and then the other one was the Drew Aller. Both the Drew Aller one I wrote about going to Pittsburgh, and the David Njoku articles both got picked up by Yahoo Sports, which it's great. I guess it's a compliment that they want to run it, but you're taking away all my.
They're not giving you credit.
No, so if you could please, if you're listening out there and you follow us here on the Fanatical Elfz Network, and you read our stuff. I do write for Dog Pound Daily. Don't read the Yahoo crap. In this case,
or if you see it online, just repost it and top say, "Hey, this is somebody else's article. What the hell are you stealing it for?"
That's not a bad idea. Steve, there you go. I needed that little.
You need somebody devious to talk to, John, and you're talking to the right guy. My family does 2 things, both sides, really well: sarcasm and revenge.
I like the revenge part. That's good. Sarcasm too. I live my life like it's a Seinfeld episode. If you just live in that that thought process, I'm good with it. I think most days when I'm at work, it's like this could be a Seinfeld episode. So
Life is a Seinfeld episode.
it really is. That was such a great show. I
None
enjoyed
nowadays.
it. Yeah. So what do you make of, I don't know, did you catch any of the stuff that was going on today with the groundbreaking at the
I
stadium?
heard Joe Thomas interviewing Denzel Ward, and our head coach Todd Monken
Yes.
asked Todd Monken after, if the first victory happens at home, is he going to jump into the dog pound after the game? And Todd Monken said, "You bet your ass." I love this guy.
Oh, I saw that quote too.
He's Kevin Stefanski with a foul mouth. I love it.
Jeffrey, going back to you, he's asking us if we've ever, or if you're listening to us later on Apple or Spotify, we have people that chime in and ask us questions or say some things. And Jeffrey's asking us if we've ever watched the UFL. We do have a team here in Columbus. They've been a little bit up and down. I don't know, Jeffrey. I'm not like, I am all in on supporting our local teams, the Columbus Aviators, but I'm not fluidly or watching it on a regular basis.
Nah, not either.
David
In fact,
Njoku,
I forget it's even on.
he's going to Miami. That's what you're hearing? Okay. Well, that is one team that needs a tight end. You know, David Njoku, I wrote in my article, and the thing about him, it was just, he had his moments. I described it as streaky, up and down. He had some really good couple seasons in a row, but he also had some duds. There was that one year where Kevin Stefanski didn't play him. I think he had like 200 yards receiving and like 19 catches or 20 catches in that one year. And people were like, why is David Njoku in Stefanski's doghouse? I think that was, 21 maybe. So then he wanted to get out of town.
He had a good 22, and he had a pretty good 23, but 24 and 25. Injuries finally caught up to him. If he's going to Miami, good luck, Godspeed. He wasn't going to come back to Cleveland, so,
What about Nick Chubb? He's still out there. We've talked about him before. Would you still like to kick the tires on that one?
If it's only going to be a one-day contract so he can retire a Brown. I'm being serious. I mean, right now he'd be the number 3 running back, and your number 3 running back has to play special teams. I don't see Nick Chubb playing special teams.
No.
Sorry.
Is Jerome Ford's now over in Washington? Is that where he went?
I guess. I know he signed with somebody. I can't remember
Washington
whom.
Didn't know who signed the running back. Jeremiah Love. Was that Arizona?
He went to Arizona.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else going around the league that you've been paying attention to other than outside of the
nothing, just listening to draft grades and the stupidity of who's the number 1 quarterback in April. Hey, if we have this problem at the start of training camp, if they still don't know who the starting quarterback is, then it'll be a problem. Until then, I'm going to trust Todd Monken and let him make up his mind. Is he going to kick the tires into Deshaun Watson? Sure he is. He's a 10-year veteran, a 3-time Pro Bowler, and you got to see what you got. You're paying him anyway, so you might as well check it out. Is he ahead of the other quarterbacks because of 3 OTAs? No. I mean, so
let me ask you this theory.
He gets out there first, and they're trying to install a new offense, and he gets everybody lined up quicker than the other 2 guys.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Because he's a 10-year pro.
The other angle of this debate or this conversation right now is, was that a ploy? Was Mary Kay instructed to throw that out there for the purpose of seeing how everybody, including us fans, would react, and with the purpose of potentially, are they trying to shop him?
Here's what they're trying to do. They're going to cut him next year for sure. And since he's been a good camper, he hasn't complained. He hasn't pulled an OBJ or OBJ's father. He's been very quiet and doing whatever they tell him to do. So when they cut him, he has more likelihood to catch on with another team. That's all they're doing. Everybody's playing nice with the sole purpose. He wants to get out of here and start fresh. They want to get him out of here and get rid of that contract, which they can do over 27 and 28, split it in half. No salary, no big salary. Salary cap goes up at least 8% every year.
So when the news came out yesterday,
it's just basically it's window dressing. That's the best way I can put it.
So when they talked about him and Mary Kay talked about it, and then the other president was
now Mary Kay may think he does because, well, let's face facts. It sounds like Mary Kay has run out of inside information again.
There are a lot of people though supporting her this morning, saying that who work with Mary Kay, and I know some people that are working with him. We had Lance Riesland on, coach, like a couple weeks ago.
I don't doubt. And they're saying that she's very good at her job.
Yeah. So let me ask you this part. Well, the other part that I'm always bothered by with Deshaun, everybody's bothered by him. I mean, I would say 90% right now of the, I don't know. You're not winning the fan base with with the conversation going on right now. The part that the president brought up was that he said, did you hear this quote when he was talking about him? He said that Deshaun is in a good headspace or something along those lines. And I'm like, if we're talking about a quarterback's headspace, we have problems. And we're 130 days away. I'm just saying, if you're talking about a guy that you're thinking about putting in, or he's looking pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying he's the number one guy, but speculating and then just saying, well, he's in a good headspace now. I'm like, dude, that's so bad. Like
window dressing, John.
Oh, it's so frightening.
Nothing but window dressing.
Oh, it is.
Everybody's playing nice. Everything's fine. Don't see. This is the thing. This will fuel talk for another couple of weeks. For sure. That's what these people want. I mean, I heard Tony Rizzo make a damn big Freudian slip today.
What did he do?
He said when he was talking about Mary Kay's article, he's a Shedeur fan. And he goes, well, I can root for Deshaun or Shedeur, and I'll be right. He's not mentioning the team getting a starting quarterback. He's more concerned about being right.
It's good observation there. Jeff's going back talking about Njoku here. He didn't want to play for any other teams besides Miami, so he wants to go back. So I guess I didn't realize that Njoku is from that area.
He went to the U.
Right. That makes sense then. Okay. Well, he doesn't like to wear a shirt. He likes to walk around in the cold here. So now he can have to worry about the cold.
Shirtless all the way into January down there.
Well, Steve, any final thoughts tonight as we?
No, I'm just
you're writing. You got a blog that just came out.
Well, I'll do a podcast on Sunday and write my blog on Monday or Tuesday. I just want to see how. I'm still tracking down how much money all these guys are.
When's the rookie camp start?
I think it starts.
Is it Monday?
Over Mother's Day. They always have
the following weekend.
Have a camp over Mother's Day.
Oh, okay.
Why I don't know.
Not this weekend, but the following weekend. Okay.
Yeah, I want to see. I just want to see how this process is going to carry forward. Yeah, because you're not going to get your starting quarterback now. It's when you get to mandatory mini camp when all the vets come in. I can't wait to see what happens then, because you'll see Denzel Ward pick everybody off.
Yeah,
and and Delpit will pick everybody off. So then this will calm down, or it'll heighten up. Who knows? But all I know is I'm not putting any stock on anybody saying who's the starting quarterback is for the Cleveland Browns on the last day of April.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree with you on everything you just said.
And of course, the next big thing will be the schedule release whenever that happens.
When have you heard that's going to happen?
It might be second week in May. I don't know. It usually comes out sometime in May. But I love the days leading up to that, and I love the day that it's released. Some reporters and it always is somebody from New York.
Right.
who accidentally posts the Jets or the Giants schedule, and they take it down real quick before they get caught. And I follow a couple guys who make very, very accurate predictions. I mean, it's going to be a slow roll into then. You got to do all the foreign games and the first games and the game in Brazil and all that other crap that the NFL likes to announce ahead of time to keep them in the news. So,
well, we'll see. It's coming up, and we'll probably be covering that a little bit. We'll have some opinions on that. Maybe we'll do a show on that as we get closer. We know that you can listen to a lot of different podcasts, and there are a lot of good podcasts. We have a good one here too, and we appreciate you tuning in. We've got a lot of different places you can watch us. You can follow us. We have a Facebook page. If you go to Fanatical Elfz Network on Facebook, you'll find us. Follow us. We're climbing there, Steve. We got over 420 followers now on Facebook.
Wow.
And YouTube, we're just about the same. We're about 408 followers. We'd really like to close that out to at least 500 here in the next month or two. And the X, we're growing there. And on TikTok, we've got almost 1,400 followers. 11, almost, well, we're between 1,100 and 1,200 followers on TikTok. So make sure to follow us. We're the Elfz Network and all of these places. So tune into us anywhere. We'll keep pushing out a lot of material to everybody.
We're everywhere.
We are everywhere.
Yes, we are. Your
dog. There goes my dog, Rufus. Yes. Everybody, hope you all have a good night. Steve, have a great night.
You too, John. It's a lovely 62 degrees here.
Yeah, we never did talk about the forecast. Yeah, it's going to be.
The storms are incredible.
Yeah,
Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, were they good ones?
Oh, well, there was a couple tornadoes north of Nashville.
Oh boy.
The Monday night one. Tuesday was a little Tuesdays were a little earlier. It was over before we went to bed, thank goodness.
Okay.
But yeah, it really came down overnight Monday into Tuesday. It was loud.
It's good for the grass. The grass is growing and the flowers are blooming.
Good for the plants. And
it's going to be May 1st tomorrow, folks.
May 1st.
Full moon, by the way, too. So
yes, beware. Full moon.
I did see the Michael Jackson movie, by the way. Very good film. Fun time.
Anybody get up and moonwalk? Did you get up and moonwalk?
I did not, but people were getting up and I mean, we were all bouncing around in our seats. We were a lot of good music. If you like that type of music and you grew up like I did in that period, it was good. I thought they did a good job. I know it's gotten some critical for it. It goes between the years that he was a kid at like 1986, 1988, and then it stops. But they're going to be making more, is from what I'm hearing more and more. They've got projects in the works for follow-up movies. So
I know they're doing one on each Beatle, which I can't wait.
Really?
I'm a huge Beatles fan.
Huge, that's cool.
Huge. I was a kid when they came and played in Cleveland. So, and I remember it well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've always been a large Beatles fan.
It's interesting because that was more like I'm not a. No, I mean I like the Beatles, but like you grew up in that. That was like a big time for you.
Oh God, yes, they were revolutionary when they hit the studio after they quit touring.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Well, keep dancing, everybody. Keep smiling. We'll see you next time.
Keep moonwalking.
Go Browns.
Who doesn't like Michael Jackson? I mean, his music was like